Alright, welcome to my game and fitness channel. I'll be doing a proper review finally of the amazing Spider-Man 2 for the Xbox One version. Now let's begin. Right off the back, as you can tell by the city, it's not really graphically impressive. I believe all this could have been done on the previous gen, which is the PS3 and the Xbox 360 of course. Now as far as the graphics on Spider-Man, this lady's blowing the hell out of me. I'm definitely not coming out of the road just because of that. I'm very spiteful. You can keep blowing, bitch. Anyways, as far as the graphics of Spider-Man go, what can I say? I'm a little impressed, but not blown away. He's not bad, honestly. Now, if we move on to the actual game mechanics though, like how the swing works, the swing has a lot of improvement from the actual first one. Rather than just swinging on an invisible wall in the sky, a wall has to be present for you to be able to swing like this. As you can see, by me pressing R trigger on the Xbox One controller, I swing to the right side of the wall. If I do that same opposite action now with the left trigger, as I'm about to do, he reaches for the left side of the wall, which I find can be pretty impressive. The only thing for people, casual gamers, it may be a little difficult to center yourself in the screen, but I mean, with a few practice attempts, you should be pretty good. Now, one of the things I like about this new mechanics in the swing is how you can take curves like this. That just always seemed flawless, how it just curves like that now, because of that.
Gotta find
As far
another
as
way.
the actual game story, oh, was that a glitch? Okay, as far as the actual game story goes, it's pretty generic, of course, you know, superhero, beat up bad guys, blah blah blah, you know how the story goes. But as far as the actual mechanics goes, as far as the villains goes, the boss challenges are pretty okay. And the fighting mechanics are okay, of course. They're a little cliche, of course, because it's a Marvel game. That's usually what's expected from the Marvel franchise. If you're a fan of Marvel, I am a fan of Marvel. I'm also a fan of DC. As you know, by Marvel games, their movies, they're a little bit more on the humor side, a little bit more cheesier. But I mean, they have their fan base, and honestly, their fan base is a little larger than DC. So if you're expecting something as an Arkham City mechanics and a fight engine,
What's worse?
you
having
can
a
see
wedgie
some
or people seeing me
similarity,
pick my
but
costume
you're
out
not
of
going
my
to be
butt.
that impressed if you have Arkham City in mind. Keep in mind, Arkham City is a DC game. DC tries very hard to keep everything serious. The fighting mechanics goes perfectly with the Spider-Man game. I think it could have been a little bit more polished though, but if you've played Amazing Spider-Man 1, and then you play this one, you will see a huge difference in the fighting mechanics, honestly. So it's not that bad entirely. But the question now, is the game worth picking up? Honestly, the game is not that impressive, so for $59.99, I apologize. Honestly, graphically, the game is not screaming next gen, so for $59.99, I will say that's honestly overpriced. But if you go on the Xbox One market,
What are
they did
people gonna
have
learn?
it
It's
for
Spider
$39.99, so I
Man.
would say that's not a
Hyphen
bad
is
price for the
important.
game. But it's definitely not a price tag of $59.99. Because anything that's selling for $59.99 for next gen, you want the next gen experience. If you're playing this on the Xbox 360 or the PS3, I would say the $59.99 price is worth it. But overall, my final score in the game, if you guys are wondering that, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Reason why I didn't give it anything less and why I didn't give it anything more, because it doesn't deserve either one of them. I mean, look at the game. Just look at it. The city is not screaming, "Hello, I'm alive," so that's already a point I deducted there. The web mechanics are pretty
Some
good
days
as
I wanna tell
mentioned,
Jonah
but
Jameson
because
who I
of the
really
camera
am,
angle,
just to
how
see the look
difficult
on
it is
his
for casual
face.
gamers, can be a little frustrating. Not to mention that the villains, when I say the villains, I mean the fighting mechanics, as I said, is good, but is as good as a Spider-Man game is. Now, the real honest reason why I couldn't give this game higher. It really doesn't deserve anything higher. If you've played Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2, that game is by far the best Spider-Man game ever. This game, that Spider-Man 2. It has a little in your voice that make a little perk come on your cheek, but it does not scream Spider-Man as what I wanted it to be. So that's why my decision is a 6.5 out of 10. Now, if you guys want me to do a walkthrough, or if you guys need a little bit more
Whatever you want
clarity
them
or
to
more
learn, it's
information about this game,
Spider-Man.
just
The
feel free
hyphen is
to
important.
leave your comments. I will return my comments to your comments, of course. So just let me know what you think about my review, and thank you for watching. Subscribe.